Hi there, it's Kristen again. This week's video is a little bit more on the serious side. The topic will be a survivor or victim. A lot of us have gone through violence and abusive situations, and the difference, there is a big difference in determining if you are a survivor of those situations or are you a victim. So that's what we're going through. And if you are a victim, hopefully you'll learn some tips and techniques to help you change that and become a survivor. So I hope I can help you, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, to start with, I've got some notes. If it looks like I'm looking down a lot, I'm looking at notes. I wanted to actually have a decent timeline on this and not take forever with my babbles. So to start with, survivor or victim, what is it? What's the difference? A survivor is someone who learns to move on. Yeah, it happened. It was horrible abuse or violence. You know, women, children, men, soldiers. I've had quite a few soldier friends who came back from war zones with the exact same problems that, you know, domestic abuse survivors display, childhood abuse survivors. And, no, it's a problem. It all goes into the same psychological and emotional loop that happens when you're traumatized like that. And you have the same difficulties learning to become a survivor of those situations instead of a victim of them. And for me, I believe it starts with situational awareness. You have to figure out in each and every situation that you're in, are you acting or reacting to the situation off the cuff because of the abuse or the violence that you endured? It affects people in ways that you would never dream of. And I speak from experience. I walked the long, hard road for many, many, many years trying to learn how to be a survivor. And I'm hoping that I can share this little bit of knowledge with you and help you learn how to become a survivor instead of stumbling through life like I did for years and years and years until you finally discover and stumble upon what actually works. So the first step, you have to analyze every situation and how you're reacting. Is what you're doing or saying influenced by the abuse or the violence that you witnessed or endured? Um, and if it is, why and how? Is that acceptable or not acceptable? Are you overreacting? Are you being paranoid? Are you, you know, those sort of things? You really have to think. You have to dig deep and you have to think. You have to explore yourself because you are a new person with these new experiences as a part of you. And every day we change and we adapt and we evolve. And every day we have to adjust who we are based on these things that have happened to us and who we are that day. With something major happening like abuse or violence, it's going to take a lot longer. It's going to be a lot harder to learn to be a new you and to handle what you've gone through and how it might be affecting you, how it might be controlling you. These situations that have happened can control you for years and years after. And as long as they are controlling you, you are still a victim. Don't let it control you. Become a survivor. Okay? How do you do this? by controlling your own actions and your reactions. You learn to recognize your emotions, and you recognize how how it's affecting you, how it's affecting those around you. Um, a lot of things that you could do, surely as a reaction to, for example, a rape. If you're in a relationship, you can end up pushing that person away without even wanting to, because you're reacting off the cuff and you're not talking to them. You're closed in, which is a typical reaction when something like that happens. You build a shell around yourself. You want to protect yourself. Um, but if you do that and you don't talk about what's going on, and people are going to be pushed away from you. There's only so much that most people are going to put up with dealing with you healing. And if it looks like you're not healing, you're just stuck in a rut going round and around and around in circles, then they might just get fed up. And that's pretty normal, you know. It's not something to hold against them. It's a pretty normal thing. But the point being, move from victim to survivor. You have to go through an emotional discovery of your new normal, and a psychological analysis of yourself, and find those points where, oh, I shouldn't be doing that. You know, it's not their fault that this happened to me. As long as these people were not involved in it, it's not their fault. So don't take it out on them. Let them know you're having trouble and that you're trying to do this, and please be patient. If you see something I'm doing, gently and kindly, please point it out. And that will help them feel included and that you actually care about them and you want their help. And it'll help you because they see things that you don't. You have to learn to look ahead and not back. If you go through your life letting these past experiences control your actions and your reactions, then you're looking back. The past is the past. It's a part of you. It made you who you are today. And good or bad, that's just how it is. You have to accept it and move on. Look forward. Look for those things in the future that you're looking forward to. Whatever it is that you're looking forward to, it could be graduating high school, it could be your new job, it could be quitting your job, it could be retirement, all these different things, going back home to visit your family. Look forward. Take a little step to look forward. And when you start to look forward to something, you reach that milestone, it feels great. Then look forward to something else. And keep going a little bit further ahead in the future each time. Find things to look forward to. And you'll find yourself working towards that more and dealing with this less. Focus. You have to stay focused, and you have to remember not to let these things control you and control your life. You have to remember to keep moving forward and not back. Okay? You have to experience all those dark moments. You have to go through the tears. You have to go through the breakdowns. It is just part of the healing process. It really must be done. It doesn't have to be done alone, but it does have to be done. The whole point is you're healing. You are accepting what happened and letting it and its darkness become a part of you. And learn to turn that darkness into light. Okay? It doesn't have to be bad. It was bad that it happened. Don't get me wrong. Totally horrible that it happened. But use that as a way to turn it into something positive. Help someone else. Take your experience and raise your children differently. Take that experience and go to VA and volunteer. Go to the women's shelter and volunteer, donate. Whatever you can do to take that experience and turn it into something positive. And that's part of what I'm doing this for. I'm taking my past experiences and turning it into something positive to try to help you so that you can have more positive survival versus...
Hi guys.
Hi.
Oh, hi guys. Hi.
And it's very hard to become a survivor instead of a victim. And the first steps are the hardest because they have to be done alone. You have to realize that you need the help. Come to grips and come to terms with the fact that you're a victim. This is where you're at, this is what happened, and you need to do something to move on. And that, nobody can do that for you or with you. You really have to go through that alone. And you have to reach out and ask for help. And you have to do that alone. Because if you don't ask for help, nobody's there to help you. But the good news is you're watching this. And that's a first step. So you're already taking the first steps, and let that momentum continue on. Get on the phone, call a shelter, call a friend, call a family member. Get a hold of someone to help you. Find that support, because nobody can do it alone, right? It's not meant to be done alone. We're here for each other. There are support groups, even if you just find somebody on Facebook, a support group on Facebook. It's better than nothing. But you are going to have to go through all those dark emotions. You're going to have those breakdowns where you're crying and you just think you're not going to make it through. And hopefully you won't be alone through those times, because you will make it through. If you believe that you'll make it through, you will. You just have to not give up. Never, ever give up, and always be free and happy and kind and loving, right? And help those around you to do the same. Like this little guy, learning to be happy and kind and help others. Right? Can you say bye? That doesn't mean click it.
Bye.
Now remember, subscribe. Hit the like button, please.
Hit the subscribe button is over there.
And subscribe's down there or over there. And the like button's down here somewhere.
Too. And like is right here.
Feel free to leave a comment. I love getting your comments.
Right down there.
I love hearing from you. So thank you for watching. And hopefully you'll be able to see a video next week of all the cool cinematography things I've been learning about. That'll be fun, won't it? Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
So hard to forgive and leave the past behind, and if you did, then that's divine. Why don't you help your brother when you see him fall? Why do we act like God don't see it all? Why do we call them black, them white, them Asians, and use labels? Now that's racism.
I don't wanna Hawaii.
Why?
I don't wanna Hawaii. Why? I don't wanna Hawaii.
Why?
I don't wanna Hawaii.